Go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I thank you for joining me once again. I'm still trying to get the second stream live. We have Pippi joining us underneath. And we have a Yudi Duty wanting some attention as well. Let me show you that the Yudi Duty and Pippin Meripper. Yeah, Shamashikis. Ashamashikis. Ashamashikis. Ay. Okay, you silly thing. You're silly. Oh, bearded Catriot Dan! It's been forever since seeing you, man. Ashamashikis. Everybody wants attentions. Yeah. Oh, you're hurting me, yo. She's like, I'm sorry. Let me hug you instead. I'm gonna be paying attention. Sorry, doggos. It's nice having all of you friends. Shell is here, Dan is here, Maxine is here, Duck Dad is here, Shannon and Nana, of course, Joy V, even Joe Schmo, even John. So nice having all of you. Nancy as well. Blessings to all of you friends. It's nice having you. Let me get this live. I don't know if it's working right now. It doesn't seem that way. There we go. We'll do the body, the world. The body, the world, right? Kind of like touching on today's understanding the fact, in fact, that your body is your world, right? It is the part of you that you, at least at first, have access to when it comes to this world. For some reason, this platform is not working. Don't do me like this, live space. Don't do this, bro. Nah, I don't think it's working. Then you get to sleep. No live space for you. All of my presence is with you, friends, I guess, today. Again, so much love. Josh! Jovan is here too. It's nice having you. Duck Dad, even. Kelly as well. I was thinking about you today, Kelly. I've been looking for you in yoga. Didn't you say you were going to be there on Monday? Kelly is furiously typing. I'm joking. I'm just poking fun, but I do want to see you there. I'm looking for you. It's like, where's Kelly? Kelly be? Where should be, yo? Yoga's good for your body. Kristen was there. Kristen was there actually. Is she here? Yeah, she is. Yeah, Kristen was there today for yoga. It was so nice having her. And like again, right? Like I'm not trying to be mean or call outy, but I do believe in this concept that we're trying to share today. That all of us have this idea of, a better world. All of us potentially want to participate in making this world a better place, saving the world ultimately. But I do believe it does start with the self, that the access, the bandwidth you have to this world starts with this fleshy vehicle you call yourself, And if there is a certain level of disconnect, I think is a good word to keep it in technological terms, right? Like if bandwidth is the amount of information that can flow at one point of time, like in an instance, right? You to yourself, mind to body connection, right? It's a bandwidth thing. Then this bandwidth is what helps you participate in the outside world as well. And by exercising, doing yoga, I don't even know if it's exercise. It's not like you're not out of breath. Your heart beats a little bit faster maybe, but it's not a difficult practice in the way where it ruins your, like it puts you in a like I'm trying to exactly the state of I'm talking about, but I'm trying to articulate it. That desolate, I'm never doing this again. I think I'm dying state. No, it's not supposed to be that. You don't have to feel that way. You can feel that way, and it can be rewarding as well, pushing yourself that hard. But just maintenance, right? Layers of maintenance. And that's why we do it every day. It's the exact same practice, and it's basics. You lean into all of the parts of yourself that you don't really get access to in day to day waking consciousness, sitting in front of a desk, walking to the fridge, laying down on the bed, sitting on the toilet. Like these things are still movement, but they don't facilitate mobility necessarily, And I'm trying to, again, keep it attached to the world at large. That this willingness to take care of ourselves as individuals, this willingness to cut down on things, this willingness to almost try and participate, I have to believe that it bleeds out into everything else. I've seen it happening, little by little. We get stronger by becoming stronger. And there's only one way to get stronger. It's to do things that are hard, to do things that make us feel weak sometimes, Again, so much love. Packing up my tent and heading up north, 4.5 hours for a night of camping, then driving 4.5 hours back to Chicago on Friday for a concert in the city. Sounds adventurous, Brother Bear. Sounds so adventurous. The 9 hours of driving, I do not envy. I'm gonna be completely honest, but the camping and the concert, that does sound very nice. Blessings to you, Brother Bear. I hope it's beautiful. Is it you and the little one? Are you alone? I think you might be alone for the camping. Maybe you're still alone for the concert as well. Bear hugs and squishes. Thank you, Joshmo. That sounds fun. It does, right? My puppy did not understand the yoga mat does not equal playtime. It's like, you are on my level now, Doug says. Like, we are ground level. We're gonna ground level things. It's like, no, actually, actually, there's more to do. It's so beautiful you say that as well, Kristen. Like, when I just started practicing with Brother Ryan, he basically was my teacher for this practice that I'm giving now. And then when I got certified, he handed over the class to me, and now I'm the one cueing it. And there was this day where Pippi also just was like absolutely exploding with energy. And every pose I would like come down into the ground with, she would be up in my face, and be like, yeah, dude, let's play. And we just have to like keep breathing and moving through the practice. And then Brother Ryan told me that when you have that level of distraction, then you're actually practicing yoga, right? That's true yoga. This ability to stay balanced within the self, not to let your, ego mind kind of like get irritated or angry, and continuing, like that's true yoga. So you were doing some real yoga this morning. Is that a Connor as well? Love you. It's nice having you here as well. Doug, you must be tired after Peppa Pigging. Can imagine. You're gonna go and see Duckaroo. I'm curious as well. Is it the Thrice concert? Joy, it was a very long day, but I am invigorated to see a sunset on the Lake of Michigan. Campsite is 300 feet from the lake. Going to be damn cold tonight, though. 44 Fahrenheit. Hey Google, what is 44 Fahrenheit in Celsius? Oh, 6 degrees Celsius. It's actually 6.66 degrees Celsius. All right. Dante's Inferno level of hell coming for you, dude. Oh, blessings. Stay warm, Brother Bear. I hope you have a sleeping bag or something that is rated for close to minus temperatures. That does sound cold. Shan. Playing an album artist and the ambulance, start to finish. We are playing the album artist and the ambulance, start to finish. I don't know what those words mean. Cozy blanket weather, exactly. I haven't forgotten. 7:30 is hard one. I usually make breakfast for the man before he goes to work. He has agreed to get up earlier for work, so our mornings can incorporate the yoga live. It would be nice, right? Again, there's no expectation, and they are online as well. It's just, I believe in moving our bodies. Me and Brother Ryan had this conversation, and I don't wish to share any personal information, but Brother Ryan has personal access to someone who went through recovery, and there was a great deal of worry, whether or not the recovery was possible. And Brother Ryan's advice to this person was, move your body and breathe. Just that. Just move your body and breathe. That was the advice. And this person is doing better now than they were even before they had this, difficulty. And I was having this conversation with him in context of that, how we as human beings, especially the ego mind, wants things to be complicated, wants things to have multiple different steps, wants things to have, this elaborate story attached to it, but taking care of yourself, living a long and healthy life really is as simple as mindfully breathing and moving your body. It really is that simple. So I want you to live a long and healthy life, you and your husband included. Kaz, it's 6:30 for me. It is 3:30 p.m. for me, so it's so easy. What are you What are your friends complaining about? Mel, you should see the video Doug put in Discord of Duckling and her birthday kalimba. What channel was that in, Doug? Let me know. I'll go and check it out. That was taking time for me to adjust my routine. It's like at most, technically, supposed to be like 20 minutes, right? Usually at the 20-minute mark is when my alarm in my ear goes off. And then it tells me, to kind of like cue us out of the practice. So if you don't want to stay for the cue out, like it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes of your whole day. And then you would have moved in all of the ways that you don't get to move somewhere in your day, right? I think of it like lotion, like lubricant, worse, I'm sorry. Like imagine you're a machine, right? Which you are, a biological machine, and it does break down. And one of the ways to keep this machine well oiled is to move into all of the crevices that you actually don't get to, to kind of like feel into your body. And then it's almost like you prompt, it's like you press buttons on yourself, and then your body goes like, oh yeah, I have this group of muscles, I have these tendons, I have this fascia, I have all of these things, I have this, blood regulating system, I have these valves that I have to open and close as I forward fold and stuff like that. And moving those little, micro machinery makes you feel better for the rest of your day as well. Never take care of your body, take care of the world. Right? That's the point of today's stream. Take care of the body, take care of the world. We kind of like have it backwards sometimes, where we're literally willing to let our bodies fall apart. We're willing to go day after day after day of like postponing when we'll take care of our body, because there are things in the world that are more important that need to be taken care of. When they are intrinsic, they do not separate. The part and parcel too. Is that a Candace I see? Sending you lovin's. It's nice having you here, friend. Send lovin's to the kids as well. Bestest time. You have no idea how much I need to be called out sometimes. Nothing but love and gratitude. I have found that you uploaded some videos on there. I'd rather be with you all while doing it. Yeah, that's true. The uploaded videos are basically like a resource for if you can't make it live, you can kind of like tune into the videos a little bit later. And this is again mild dogma, like just like a little bit of dogma, but there is value in doing it consistently. Like one of the things that I've noticed is how when I get onto my yoga mat to practice this practice, I can turn my brain off. It's like, wait a second, Mel, turning your brain off is good? Sometimes turning your brain off is good, when you're in a space of like anxiety or in a space of feeling out of control, turning your brain off can really be beneficial. And because I've done this practice like more than 300 times now, I get onto the mat, and even in queuing, I don't have to think about, like, the words just kind of like flow through me. I'm like, yes, now I'm doing this. Now we're doing that. And there doesn't have to be this state of like over involved. Am I doing it right? What am I gonna do later? It's just, yes, this is what we're doing now. And there's a level of control, Hey, Aegon, I've been thinking about you today, bro. I was like meditating and I was sending you vibes. It's cool seeing you here. Love you, bro. Sending you lovin's. Okay, okay. Uploaded some videos on here. Again, thank you, Kelly, for taking my call out as, a loving approach. Because it is. It definitely is, right? And like this is something that I try to stress with my family as well. That me trying to encourage someone to exercise. And again, let me backtrack a little bit. We have been conditioned as a society to believe you exercise because there's something wrong with you, right? You exercise because you're not muscular enough, or you exercise because you're overweight, or you exercise because you had some sort of injury, etc., etc., etc. Exercise is good for you, right? Like exercise should be seen like washing your hair when it's like all clumped up and it has so much oil in it. Like it's like, oh, this is nice. This is a nice thing that I've done for myself. Great. Right? And that's how I believe it should be seen. And unfortunately, when you encourage people to exercise and their attachment to exercise is something you do when there's something wrong with you, it feels like an attack, right? Like, oh, there's something wrong with me. That's why this person is telling me to exercise. No, there's nothing wrong with you. I want you to live a long and healthy life. I want you to be able to be mobile when you're in your 80s, right? I don't want you to be a hunched over, I wanted to say troglodyte, but I don't know what that word means. Hey, Google, define troglodyte. A troglodyte, a person who lived in a cave. I don't think that's fair. I just like I don't want you to be decrepit, I don't want anybody to be decrepit. And like the point isn't to live as long as we can. The point is to live well for as long as we can. And being able to be mobile, having the autonomy in the body to do what you want to do for as long as you want to do it, I believe that is true value. And again, when we kind of like attach it to this understanding of the body as an attachment to the world, they go hand in hand, right? If you, by the age of 60, are so tired and so, desolate to the point where you don't want to move your body anymore, it's going to be even harder for you to make a difference in the world, to go out and meet friends, to have like some sort of event where you help take care of people, to be in service of anyone else. If you haven't gone, out of your own way to serve the self, the small self, the bodily self. And it's not supposed to be an attack. It's not an attack on you as an ego or as a person. It is an encouragement to live a better and healthier life because we live together. We live together. And the way you feel in the self bleeds out into how others people, feel as well. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at the end of the day. I'm trying to figure out how we can. I guess that's like just everything I just said is a good explanation. Like started off like, okay, look at me, right? I know you have been conditioned to believe exercise is something that you do when you're not good enough. No, as in fact not how it is. That's not how it is. Spread my tent out last night to air out from the musty basement. It was nice and clean. No less than 6 birds, or one bird shitting 6 times long. Would you rather believe that your tent had been randomly targeted by a group of birds, or that you've made up a spiteful bird enemy? Yeah, yeah, I think that's worse. There's just a bird out there, kind of like rubbing its little wings together. I was imagining like 2 scenarios where this bird was like flapping its wings, rubbing its little feetsies together, and I was like, nope, that's cursed. And then I imagine bird standing on stick, rubbing wings together, and that makes more sense. And then the third option is the most concerning, where it has wings to its side, levitating off of the ground, rubbing its little feetsies together. That's probably your nemesis now. Congratulations, Duck Dad. You have an enemy for life. Yeah, hello, everyone is reading this. Imagine me saying I love you and giving you a big old bear hug. Thank you for the hug. Love is true. I appreciate the hug, Connor. Sending you one as well. It's really interesting. You use the word adventure. I would be saying I need a good adventure. Totally solo. First night away since I quit my corporate job. Duckling was 9 months old. She's now 4. three, 3 and almost a half years. You know, let's just call it like 3 years, 3 months, and 33 days, 3 hours, 3 minutes. That's a long time, dude. I'm proud of you, Brother Bear. Let me just say that. I'm proud of the amount of work you've done, the amount of effort you've been putting in. You deserve this adventure. Make the most of it. Friends, shout out to the orthotics. They really do work. Orthotics. They really do work. YouTube pediatrist said not necessary to get custom if the OTC work. They do. Been pushing myself really hard training and my feet were suffering. Hey Google, define orthotics. Orthotic, a branch of medicine that deals with the provision and use of artificial devices such as splints and braces. I'm happy that they're working for you, Shell. Thank you for sharing that wisdom with us as well. Sam, the spiritual bird enemy. I wear custom orthotic Shell. They are life-changing. There we go. Like, my mind goes to orthotics being a type of shoe that helps with like feet for some reason. Like, that's where my mind went first. 666, hell yeah. Excited for you, I hope. It's one of the most gorgeous sunsets you've ever seen. Thank you, Kelly, for echoing that beautiful sentiment. Going solo. Joy, my mind is convinced I'm training for Jamaican and African dance and hurdles. That sounds good to me, Shell. You know, training for something like that sounds like a cool process. You'll be immersed in culture, you know. Might even make some cool friends. My sleeping bag is rated to 0. A little sad though, it's the first time ever camping truly solo without my doggo. She's just getting too old. Love is true. Thank you for thinking about her nonetheless, Duck. Oh, I move my body. It's the body-mind-spirit connection that is drawing me to yoga. And the added glitter of having more time with you, loves. That does kind of like make it nice as well. I think we were 9 people in yoga today. I believe Jovan joined us, but she was gone before we could say hi. And someone else joined us as well, but I couldn't see their name. They joined while I was practicing or queuing and then gone before I finished. The greatest lie I was ever told, that it is harder than you think. It isn't. Yeah, moving your body isn't that hard. It's just like, so the way I think of it is usually what happens, at least to me, is that exercise or trying to plan exercise can be attached to this vector of motivation, you know, where we reach a point psychologically where we're like, oh yeah, you know, no more being overweight or no more being too skinny. Now I'm gonna change everything, you know. Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna gym and I'm gonna eat more protein and and you can have that sense of like, yeah, we're gonna do this, yeah. And then the next day comes and then all of that, yeah, is gone. Right. And then it leads us to not doing all of these things that we planned. So what I've noticed is replacing motivation for discipline, where I'm like, okay, you know, I have this motivation to do something. During this time tomorrow, come hell or high water, I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to sit down, metaphorically speaking, and do it. I'm going to show up for this thing that I know I'm supposed to be doing. And then the more you do that, the easier it becomes. Like after 21 days, it just becomes a part of your being. It's like, oh wait, it's that time when I do things. And you don't have to do a lot again, right? Like the practice we do is like 20 minutes. And sometimes that's all I do for the whole day. I'll sprinkle in some pull-ups, you know, throughout it, some push-ups as well. But you don't have to have like a set time during the day that you have to like spend 2 hours. Like you don't have to go to the gym for 2 hours in order to be healthy. It's not that big of a thing. You can do 15 minutes. If you do 15 minutes of high intensity training, you'll be wrecked straight up. Like it will destroy you like to the point where you don't want to move. And that could be, you know, good. Could be good. Going for a walk is something that I would like to do more of, but our environment isn't that great. for facilitating going for outside walks. Maybe if I move soon, it'll be better. Planting more seeds in John's mind. I don't know if he's still here. Sending you blessings, bro. Doc Dad, there's a certain special quality to solo camping. You really get to sit inside your own thoughts and just ask yourself about yourself. I'm happy that you get this opportunity, brother. So beautiful you say that, Joshmo. Today, during my meditation, the objective was problem solving. And you go through this, like, again, I've shared this with you friends, this process, stacking layers of consciousness on layers of consciousness, where you start by putting your physical form and your worries in a box. And mine is a tesseract. So it's like a box that opens itself by bringing its inside outside. Yeah, welcome to my mind. It's like, oh wait, my inside of my box is outside, and then I put my body, and it usually looks like this anthropomorphized, like I'm T-posing version of myself, and I put myself in the box, and then it goes and it encapsulates me, and I'm like sick. And then I do the tuning where you breathe in and you do like a bunch of different, like I do multiple different frequencies, and I usually like with the inhale I feel what is going to come next, and then I make the sound that comes out. Then you create like an energy bubble around yourself that you can expand outward and outward. And then there are like levels of focus. Focus 10 is where you start off with, where in that state of mind, in that meditation space, you become super still, right? And your body basically goes into a sleep state. And your mind has this activity, like you have almost like more access to your own brain because of how still your body is. And the second CD kind of goes into Focus 12. And Focus 12 goes beyond just mind awake, body asleep, but then goes into a higher state of consciousness where there's like vastness to it. And then within that vastness today, I was supposed to cast questions, and then as you ask these questions, answers come back to you. And there was like that level of sitting with my own thoughts and asking myself about myself, asking, about the relationship I have with my family. And one of the things that I came to, is this feeling of not being seen. And I realized that there is a level of me that does not see my family as well, and I felt like that was a significant answer to the question I was asking. It's almost like there is this invisible barrier between me and my family, and we can like see the shape of a human being moving around in space and time. But it's like, for instance, when I look at one of you friends, I imagine all of the infinity that goes on behind your eyes, right? Your hopes and dreams, the conversation you're having internally, the experience you're having, experiencing this moment right now, etc., etc., etc. Like there's depth, there's an infinite amount of depth. And because, at least in my, my ego's conception of it, me and my family's ways of seeing the world is so different. It's almost like we don't have the ability to imagine the depth of the being in the way we would be able to if we could see ourselves as the same, right? And yeah, there's value in asking yourself questions, right? That the wisdom you need is inside your heart. Smear that LO on our faces, lol. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Sharing music in the Discord, Mel. Thank you, Duck Dad. Need the playlist. Love, 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 love. Shan wearing them all day with my blush technique shoes. My hips and knees feel better. I got that flat feet. So I'm happy to hear that you're feeling better, Shell. That's what it's about. Karaya looked like a deer in headlights. When you said her name, all the girls asked how you knew her. I told them you were a wizard. So now there you are, dancing wizard man. Skinny boop, body boop. I do actually consider myself a technomancer, Wizard, I guess, could be one of the words, but yeah. Like dancing wizard man is going to be more apt than they know in the future. And I've shared this with you friends, but I'll share it again until it becomes manifest. Like my ideal future, my inevitable future is having a suit that has like LED panels all over it, that has actuation points, like how I bend my fingers has like different buttons attached to it. How I touch my fingers to one another have different buttons attached to it. And then I'll have vectors that come off of my body. So there'll be like a vector coming off my shoulder, a vector coming off of my elbow, vector coming off of my wrist. And then those vectors will extend into space. And this is all virtual, of course, right? They will extend into space, creating sections, right? Like there'll be a section coming out of my shoulder and a section coming out of my elbow. And then these sections will create sections in between them. And depending on how I move my fingers, there will be changes in these sections all around me. And then I'll use my psychedelic flowers as decorations. The world melting alongside me as I move my body, dancing. So yeah, Dancing Wizard Man sounds sick to me. Thank you for sharing that with me, Candace. You always put the same arm into the armhole first or switch it up? I'm trying to switch, but it's weird. Switching is weird. What's weird to me is the fact that there is such a thing as armholes. I'm just trying to imagine a world, right, where there are just armholes. I'm like seeing a tree, and then my mind goes, oh look, there's an armhole, and I always put my left arm inside the armhole, and I'm like, oh, this feels kind of bland. I should put my right arm in the armhole. No, this feels weird. Usually I put my what's happening right now? What are you talking about, Shell? I will 100% show up tomorrow. I hate to say I'm going to do something and not do it. It's like my number one pet peeve, Kelly. That's why I'm willing to say something about it, right? It's like the thing where if you want to piss me off, say you're gonna do something and then don't. That's like the one way, right? Like I don't get pissed off easily. But if you tell me you're gonna do something and then you don't, that's like surefire, Like as enlightened as I've tried to make myself, I still get pissed off by that, in particular. It's like a level of investment, right? If someone tells me, for instance, they're gonna come and visit me, even before they're here, my mind is already rendering that fractal of this is how it's gonna be, right? It's gonna be like this, and I'm gonna experience this because of this experience, right? And then I have like all of this mental, I don't know if it's baggage, mental anticipation, right? Like the dopamine fractal. And then if you take that away from me, oh goodness, my poor little ego goes. Love you, dude, so much. I will 100% show up again. Love to you. Down the world, on top of the list. Y'all are high on my list. We love you. That's what it's about. How was the week? Have you had progress? It'll bounce syndrome, yes, I hope so. Mikey, there is so much I would like to share with you face to face, brother. I'm happy that you're taking time to regroup and analyze. Maybe it's just to put your feet up and vegetate. Either way, I think your meeting with one another, Joe Schmo and Duck Dad, is not too far away. Like I've been feeling this magnetism of you two homies kind of like getting closer and closer with one another on your fractals. Yeah, Shell, I find wearing them all day, especially since I'm on my feet all day, you get the most benefit, always in alignment. I have a leg length discrepancy, so it's really a noticeable difference. I'm happy that it helps you. Troglodyte. It is a fun word, right? I'll give it that word. And now that I know a troglodyte is a person who lives in a cave, I feel less bad about using it because that's not too rough of an insult, right? Like telling you live in a cave. I'm like, so let me preface this next fractal with this one. I want to live in a cave. In fact, I plan on building myself a cave one day. I want to like buy myself a piece of property with like some sort of like sandstone mountain, and then I want to dig into that mountain and make myself a home inside that mountainside because it's going to be more temperature regulated than building something in the outside. And I believe in negative building more than I believe in positive building, right? Where we can build into the earth. instead of having to take Earth and build onto the Earth of itself. I imagine this future where most of our buildings are built into the Earth, and then we have these beautifully made, instead of just like squares, flower patterned, right? Like imagine little flower leaves, solar panels that expand, looks like flowers sprawling out. And then those can serve as like rooftops as well. You can have like, nice seated area, stages and things to dance, places to get together and have conversations, places to eat underneath these solar panel flower roofs. And then if you need to go to sleep, you can go underground where the temperature is perfect, and it's easier to regulate the temperature underneath. Like water encroachment, we're gonna have to figure that shit out. I mean, we already have, technically. It's just a matter of monies. So much bigger. And technology as well. Hopefully there'll be, Digamatic robots 5000, by the time we get there. That was a weird fractal to go down, just reading the word troglodyte again. I'm happy you're doing this for you. Love is true. Joe, that's time will come, brother. Right now, I have to do this. When I get back, I have 11 straight days with no relief in childcare. Maybe I need to be me for a day and a half. You're gonna do it, dude. Like, I'm happy that you're taking time. Set that boundary, take it for yourself. Oh, not a trog was one of my favorite teenage insults. It is nice. It is a nice one. I like it as well. Exactly, man. Anyone remember the regular Nintendo game Trog? I never played a single Nintendo game. That's a lie. I did play some Wii, but it was never my Wii. It was my cousin's. I've never played Zelda, for example, The Legend of Zelda. I've never played that game. I don't really have the fractal of playing Super Mario Kart or Smash Bros. It's like, oh, Super. It's fine. It's fine. I still get the fractal. I've played it enough to understand the appeal, but I've not played it enough to feel like, it's an integral part of my being. First solo trip in how long? Your parents are angels on this earth, I swear. I need alone time, like I need water or air. Talking about breathing some air. Drinking some water. I've been blessing my water even harder these days. I even have like this app on my phone that has this spectrum analyzer where I notice, I like will watch what sounds or what frequencies I'm putting into my water bottle. And more often than not, the frequency that arises is 111 hertz. And that's kind of like curious to me as well. I have this thing that I do with Way where I have like a wave generator and then I generate, maybe I should show you. Can I? I don't know if I can with my cell phone being occupied. Do I have atmosphere on this one? I do. Okay, let me show you. It's it's cool to me, okay? Like I'll preface it with that. It's cool to me. I don't know if it'll be cool to you. Oh. I'll have to make new frequencies. Is this thing working? Carrier frequency 111 hertz, beat frequency 0.01, delta wave, and then we'll call it 111 Way hertz because my speaker is called Way. I don't know if this thing's going to be able to generate. Nah, it's too much. I'm back in a second. Okay. Good thing we didn't have a second stream up today. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this phone open. Yeah. Connect away. Bloop. Sicketh. Can't connect away. Liar! Nani? Way has just like completely disappeared from my list even. Let's see if I have to reconnect again. Technology. There we go. It is 47 right now on the timestamp, so I guess that's what I was supposed to see. It's giving me pairing ... It's almost like we figured out Bluetooth technology. Hey Google, how old is Bluetooth technology? It's almost like it's 24 years old. And still it's okay, let me read some comments while I'm waiting. Gonna head out, friends. Love you, Maxine. The next 3 days are supposed to be the most brutal. I think they're gonna be less than the most brutal. That's the way I believe. Blessings to you, Maxine. Melton looking all jacked today in his leisure shirt. Go with your bad self. Yeah. Thank you for the lovin's, dude. So much love in chat being sent Maxine's way. Came running with her kalimba, playing it, saying, Grandma, look! Yes! I'm so happy to hear she's enjoying it, Duck Dad. It really is a beautiful little instrument. Not yet. I have to send the paperwork in. I'm hoping that they will show who it is, because that's my right to know, in case it's someone I know, but I highly doubt it was someone I know. I'm a hermit. Either way, I hope that there is a conclusion reached. Yes. Ba-da-dum. Thank you. Now it should work. This is gonna be mildly weird. I'm letting you friends see into a part of me that people probably find very concerning. What's he doing? Is there something wrong with him? Yes. What's wrong with him? Like where do I start? Look, making the bull sign. Thank you, Aegon, for seeing, dude. Okay. Audiobook recommendations, the Laundry File series. Kristen, an Audible credit. I want a proper, Audible account, but I don't want to be paying for books. It's like, oh wow, well, really, Mel, welcome. Okay, no more delays. I have to do this. This one's an oscillation. Why are you oscillating? Oh, you're not supposed to be oscillating. Let's see if I can. Let me update the app, maybe. Like you can literally see in the user interface that this app hasn't been updated in months. Atmosphere. Yeah. Oh. That's new. It allows me to install the app on different devices as well. No, this device is fine. It's like asking me to just install it straight up. Okay, that's odd. There's a new app with the exact same name. Peak Pocket Studios is made by the same place. I am confusions. What's different? I don't know. It's updating though. Let me read some more comments while I wait. Kalimba baby, love is true. Dude, I always listen to some Alan Watts or some philosophy lectures. I'll see you later in spirit. Blessings, dude. Do you listen to Ram Dass? Ram Dass, Terence McKenna, Alan Watts, Neville Goddard. Those are some of my OGs. Am I missing someone? I feel like I am. Yeah, those are like my biggest ones. I really love those dudes. Melty. I learned a rolling chant that upwells a new vibration in the chest and abdomen that helps you alleviate when you stop into the rhythm. Repetitive and simple chanting, inspiring higher being. It's pretty fucking amazing. I don't know if this is gonna be the same thing, but I hope it works the way it usually does with my other app at least. Let's see. It should be updated now. Atmosphere. There we go. Let's create another preset. Actually, let's just try this one. Peppy is like, what's happening, bro? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What is happening right now? What is happening? Oh, what's happening right now? 11:11. There's a fly on me. Test. There we go. There we go. I can't get this thing to get done. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Empathy of the amount of confusion. She's like, bro. This is an odd moment to jump in. Yeah. We're doing some of the weirdness, dude. This is like 111 hertz being projected at my body. And then by tuning yourself into different frequencies, it like oscillates with your being, dude. It's kind of trippy, right? Like it's trippy to you, friends? Let me bring this one closer as well. Yeah. Like, it's definitely not normal. And I've had people viscerally confused about me doing stuff like that. And they're like, the fuck are you doing, bro? Why are you doing that? I'm like, because it's fun, I guess. Feels good. Creating your delta oscillation. Happy you friends are enjoying it with me. I went to my sleep, deprived, EEG. They said my brain's beta waves malfunction. At least we know that now. Is that a good thing? Do they know what to do about malfunctioning beta waves? I wonder. Book called Audible. Nana. Melty, I learned the rolling chant. Thank you again for sharing that. I just downloaded a bunch of Ramdas talks and writings. I had thought of you, Melt, when I started to listen to them. Ramdas is my fourth teacher. It was first Alan Watts, then Terence McKenna, then David Data, then Ramdas. I really love him as well. His mind is beautiful. I have been so down. I have shared this new dad moment to cherish. Milani learned how to play Baby Shark on the piano. How did she learn? She recognized letters on the keys. How freaking beautiful. Talented even. She can't read, but now she's reading music and playing. I'm doing good as a dad. Yes, you are. Celebrate yourself, bro. You're a fantastic dad. I fell asleep at my work desk yesterday, listening to frequencies like these. Yeah, like they work. They straight up work. I mean, I don't know how that even works. What I just did, right? Like I'm imagining that I create resonance with my voice, whoa, and because there's another 111 hertz frequency coming in, they like they tune each other out, and then there's like an oscillation that starts, and then I can tune my frequency with my voice differently, and then the gaps of the oscillations change as these frequencies intermingle. And you know, it's like so I hope it was clear on the microphones, but it's so clear that there is this exchange of energy happening. Yeah. And then I try to like share my fascination of this stuff with my family, and then they're like, "Yeah, you think you're so fucking cool." I'm like, "No, it's not what it's about." Like, yeah, sure, I'm cool, but don't you want to be cool? Don't you want to try this stuff? And it's like, no, I don't want to try that. Why not? Because I don't want to. I'm like, but why? But why not? Like, surely there has to be a reason for you to have no fascination with, you know, this instrument that is your being, this part of you that is the world. You've been given the power of gods, the power of the immortal, because you have mind and the ability to use words to speak into this realm, literally add vibrations into this realm, manifesting change into this realm. I'm wearing bone conduction headphones, and that vibration is nuts. Yes, that's so cool. I want a pair of those as well. I've been thinking about, you know, as I'm going through these, like this, I have like a 40 hertz preset on my phone as well, where I'll like cradle my speaker like a baby, and I'll just lay there, and then I'll have these 40 hertz pulsing through my being. And apparently, it's also like good for your cells. And like as I was doing this, I was thinking to myself, like the future when I create like a longevity clinic, to have like these sensory deprivation tanks where you like float in darkness, and then there's like a frequency inputted into that water, allowing your cells to vibrate at the same frequency as well. And you know, being able to put in like different frequencies, even like having like some sort of bed system where you can like have like the bed vibrate your body as well. Odd moment to jump in. It's nice having you here nonetheless, Isaac. You're doing an amazing job. What a brilliant skill for her to practice it is. I hope you're feeling better. Me too. If worse, it's better than I'm doing. Amazing. That's true. My baby dog is not enjoying this chant, wants to pick up a fight with the speakers, like, come on, put up your fists. Boy dog and big dog haven't flinched. Just a little demon dog. I'm sorry, little dude. I'm sorry, I'm done. Pippi was also like, kind of like feeling the energy of it for a moment, and then she settled down. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, this rocks. You friends are flattering me. Imagine my doggers would be doing the head tilt. I have you in my headphones, and it feels like my brains are being massaged. Lol, love you, Mel. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, friend. Maybe I should like do some shorts where I just like have these weird vibration chants. You know, maybe there'll be something in that as well. It's okay, just hoping to get strong enough to travel tomorrow. We're supposed to get on a bullet train early in the morning to go to another area of France and to do some cool boating expeditions, which has been what I've been waiting for, the thing I planned. So knowing I may miss it is kinda freaking with my mind a bit, especially cause I get to go back on the plane on Sunday. We got this. Yes, you do, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I can't imagine that being nice. Being sick in bed when you're supposed to be in a, like foreign place, another country, having the experience of getting to be on vacation and then not getting to vacation while you're on vacation. That just so many layers of suck. Love is true nonetheless. I've said hi and I've read your comments, but I just want to say directly hi to you, Zano. It's nice having you. Of course, you too, brother Isaac. Rest up. That's the way. Thank you for sending love, Shan. Sending healing energies, blessings. I'm hoping so, Shan. So far, my heartbeat is enough to feel like it's gonna push me over. So I'm not very pumped about travel, can imagine. A good friend of mine used to chant to his plants every morning, healthy and beautiful plants, and one of the best smoke experiences I've ever had. I do believe everything, right? Everything that plant experiences gets encoded into the bud you're smoking eventually. And you like, and this is my woo woo side of it as well. That's why I bless my weed before I smoke it and stuff. That there is a certain level of energy that is contributed to the experience beyond just THC molecules flooding your system. Like that does do something, but that's not all of the experience. Suzanne and Marak, it's nice having you, friend. Sending you lovin's. It's nice seeing your name in chat. I did have a nice bath. It had me all exhausted, but I did it. I need to do better at eating. That's the real hang up. Yeah, like there's this thing where you can either eat nothing at all to kind of like starve the sickness of nutrients as well, or you have to eat food that actually serves your body. And it's difficult to do both or to do it like in the middle, because if you in that sick space you feel so low energy that you can't be bothered to make yourself like a proper meal, so you end up eating things that are easy more often than not are processed, and not eating anything at all isn't easy at all either. So I get the pain, bro. Sending you blessings though. I'm sure you'll get through this in no time, in some time, probably, a little bit of time. I'm gonna make the light a little bit warmer. There we go. Got like a sun unibrow. I'm trying. Yeah. Okay, he got this. Love is true. I did stuff like this when I was manic, not saying you are, but in the hospital I said that I could synthesize my own dopamine by playing the song Dopamine by Frank Moody at full blast on my phone. I mean, like I have a oxytocin tattoo that I'll sometimes touch, and I can feel my own hand touching my own body, and that in a way literally releases oxytocin. So I do get what you're saying, actually. And I do believe we do have the ability to synthesize our own neurochemicals. I just think we don't know how to, right? Like there's a part of this practice, this meditation practice I've been going through, where when you come out of it, the facilitator basically talks about how all of your organs, after coming into this world again, will excrete properly, and you will be in a state of being that is facilitating of energy, like an experience of just being able to participate in this world. And it really does work, right? Like I'll come out of these meditations unable to sleep with the amount of energy that it gives me. So yeah, I don't think you're too far off at all. Sit in the sun and stick the phone at the bottom of the speaker to back the bottom of my neck, and I could feel the zaps in the song jump into my head and make dopamine. It was the coolest. Sounds like I don't like I like how you preface all of these things by saying when you were manic, and then I'm like, yeah, it sounds right to me. I don't think these things are manic. I think they might be different. They might be out of the ordinary, but I don't think you're weird or wrong for doing these things. Isaac, the bullet trains in Europe are comfortable and you will be able to rest, sleep, and eat. Especially, I sincerely hope you feel up to it, friend. Thank you, Kelly, for sending that love. That's what I'm hoping for. Maybe some bone broth. Yeah, that's where I would go as well. Gotta go do worky things. Love you, Jovan. We'll see you again soon, dear friend. I did the ice water dopamine trick yesterday. Steam, then ice water. Yeah. I don't like it now. How did you feel, Ryan? Like for me, dopamine registers as a feeling of power, like extreme, unwavering power, where I'm like, yeah, I am powerful. I am capable. I am strong, right? That's how dopamine registers in my being. And taking a cold shower, when I get out of it, I'm being flooded by this sense of power. Yeah, power. It's like suddenly I have like my whole own metal background music, puts on shirt. Oh no. Have a beautiful day, Jovan. Thank you for the love and Skelly. I'll maybe get out and look for some. The group is out until like 10 p.m. today, so maybe they can go get me some. I had some miso soup yesterday. I'm happy that you at least had something. Going to work, thing again. Be thinking all of you wonderful, magical, spectacularly splendid friends. Have an amazing day. Thank you, Kristen, for sending so much love. That didn't make sense. Full ADHD. Wish me luck. It's perfect. It doesn't have to make sense for me to know that it was meant lovingly. Thank you. We'll see you again soon, friend. Have a beautiful day. Thanks, Mel. I usually feel that way. Like nobody gets it, but I see you do stuff similar, and I'm like, fuck yeah. This is the way. Yeah, like I do believe there is so much more to be experienced than what we think is traditional. Hey, Catnip, sending you love and friend. Like there is so much more in this human experience, for us to kind of like discover again. Like just thinking about, ancient times. Like we know for a fact that there Ebony Star. Oh goodness. Yo! How long has it been? Like more than a year. You'll see. It's been long. It's nice to have you here, sending you blessings. We're talking about the esoteric, ways of being. The fact that your body is the first and closest attachment you have to the world, right? That your body is your world. If your world, breaks somehow, you break a leg or something, and kind of fucks with your world, even though there's still just as many places to go, just as much room for you to wander. Now suddenly the experience of wandering is a little bit less appetizing, as a thought. Talking about send lovings to our beloved Loazana. I think she's going under the knife today to get her knee worked on, you know. Taking care of our little worlds. Take care of yours, beloved Ebony Star. I hope you are. I believe you do. It can be hard sometimes, but by taking care of our beings, in the weirdness that it has as well, chanting and going through these meditative experiences. Like I've been getting deep into meditation as of late again, and it's been nice. It's been very nice. Like having this visceral experience. Like, and it's being prefaced by the fact that I know it might make me even more crazy, right? So I'm doing it with that in mind, where I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna learn even more things about the self. And if you try to share these things with someone else, they'll think you're fucking crazy. So you like, keep it to yourself. And it's hard, right? Like I had this conversation with my dad. I had the conversation with him a day before the conversation he shared with me, where it's like, yeah, I can also smoke weed and then come to the same conclusions that you do. Sunday night after the Sangha, the power was off. I smoked a little bit of weed. I had like the dry herb vape, a pod of dry herb vape. And then I went into this meditative space, and I went into focus 10, and I found myself in the focus 10 state. And in this focus 10 state, and I shared this with you friends, I noticed this torus field around my being. And through my core, down my spine, was this energy flow. And then it was going around, and the things I was thinking was contributing to it and then flowing back into me. And then the things I was thinking was also flowing out from that space, contributing to my world, right? Painting the world I was seeing. And then I first had this idea or this feeling of someone coming up to me being angry, 11:11, right? And they were like screaming in my face, right? Like for almost like the narrative of like, oh yeah, you're sitting here meditating when there are people to be saved in the world, like that kind of narrative. And I realized that if I just sat there quietly, without reaction, and accepting it, that energy becomes exhausted before I will. And then it melted away, right? And it got incorporated back into my being. And then I noticed there is this experience where this torus field basically channels souls into existence, right? Where a soul almost gets trapped in the center of the torus field. And as it's trapped in the center of the torus field, it slows it down, you know. Usually it's just primordial energy flowing into infinity. But as it goes through this linear, you know, experience, it slows down the eye of that consciousness in a way where it looks out into this torus field that it is self-creating. And it becomes convinced that that is who it is and that is its reality. And I was like, oh, wow, that is absurd. You know, and we've articulated that to one another in this space, observer and observed as a loving relationship, as an infinity symbol. You know, and a torus field can be seen as the infinity symbol in its fourth dimensional shape in many ways. And I was like, yeah, this makes sense, you know, makes perfect sense to me, checks out. And then I tried to talk to my dad about it. And I can just see this on his face as I'm trying to tell him about this. And I'm like, ah, he thinks I'm crazy. Good, good. You know, and then he'll back down and then tell me about his religion. And I'm like, Dad, you do realize the things you believe, you hallucinated looking at words, right? The things I believe, I hallucinated by looking inside, right? You see that there's a difference. There's a difference, Dad. There's a difference, bro. Like one of the experiences has no dissonance, has no agenda, right? There's no agenda for me to experience the torus field, for me to experience being as a unity looking into itself, right? Something larger than the self, facilitating the experience of the self. What is the agenda there? Like seriously, like I'm trying to think of what the agenda could be. Selfishness, potentially, right? It could further the agenda of selfishness. But then I try to pose the same question, you know, to religion. And the agenda there is control, right? If I have the rules and I get to enforce these rules and tell you what the rules are, there is a certain level of control I have over you. And, you know, like that's the thing for me, where even my dad, like he will fight against me saying it, but there is a certain level of him wanting to control me. And I had this conversation with my mom yesterday, you know, like communicating to her that, and we did this on yesterday's stream, where I was like, I articulated it well enough to myself in stream to understand why I have such a problem with it. And it was this fractal of what I need to do in order to be accepted by my family is not be myself, right? The only thing that I can do is literally change the fundamental nature of my being. And I'm more likely to start flying right now. I'm more likely to turn into goo and melt into the floor. Like that's more likely than me being able to change the actual reality of my own being, you know. And this personal experience I have with this thing we call God, you know, consciousness, to be shown the lessons I'm supposed to learn, right? Like I'm not anti-religion. I am anti-separation, right? If your religion preaches the fact that you are this small, insignificant bug, you know, that needs the saving of this other creature, then I have a problem with that, because I believe the biggest issue we have right now is separation, where we don't realize we are the thing we are seeking, right? Like we're looking for it somewhere else. Like this conversation I had with John and Stefan at White Rabbit, about significance, how it's very easy for us, and to keep it like related to today's stream topic about the body and our attachment to the world, we seem to seek significance in things, right? Like we can form this understanding of an ideal house or an ideal person or an ideal job or an ideal position of power or an ideal, like tool that will help us build things, make things, or an ideal add your thing here. The list goes on infinitely. And then we create this mental narrative, a two-dimensional snapshot of significance, where we're like, as soon as this thing happens, then my life will have the significance that I'm looking for. When those roles are reversed, you are the one that gives things significance. Something doesn't give significance. It's impossible for something to give you significance, because if you weren't born, you can like put in the little space you would have occupied if you weren't born all of the things you could have ever wanted, stacks of gold, all of the cool computers, all of the cool, sensors, all of the cool tools. You could just put it in that space. There would be no significance in that unless you were there to experience it, right? That significance arises from you given onto something else. And again, this experience of separation, I believe, allows us to seek significance in other things, because you can't, on a base level, on a psychological level, realize that there is no thing, all right? Nothing exists technically outside of your consciousness, right? And it's a little bit trippy to kind of think about it in that way. It can be even detrimental to survival, that seeing reality in its completeness isn't great for survival. And we've done this in renderings as well with like evolutionary systems, where if you give a creature in an evolutionary model a fitness status where it sees the world as a means to increase its own fitness, and fitness can be a bunch of things. It can be health, and it can be procreation, for example. So if the creature sees the world as something that can facilitate its own well-being and allow it to procreate, that creature is more likely to survive. Where if you give that exact same model full access to what the world actually is, how the numbers work, how the values work, how everything works in its complete intricacy, those things go extinct in like 3 generations. Right. And it's this almost like fundamental idea that we can kind of like come to understand, that seeing the world in its completeness isn't great for survival. That people that end up seeing the world as it actually is are so out of it that they can't procreate with other people who are also seeing the world as it is, or they get killed, or they get so stuck in trying to explain something that they end up robbing themselves of the opportunity to make more money. All right, is a mosquito biting me right now? Fucking better not, dude. That they don't make money and they don't get to sow their seed, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, what am I trying to say? Seeing reality as it actually is in an evolutionary level of perspective isn't beneficial. Right? So it makes sense that we have come to this level of dissonance, but that doesn't make it right. Right? That doesn't make it right. Just makes it the way things are right now. But change is the only constant, and awakening is inevitable. Our problems, it can be solved by awakening. It's like, what is awakening, Mel? Awakening to me is realizing what you are. Truly realizing what you actually are, right? Like for me, a good example is, imagine being a molecule of light, right? A wavelength shooting out into infinity. And your mind does that, literally. Right? That's what's happening right now. And then realizing, as that wavelength, your origins, realizing what it is you emanate from. That to me is awakening. Because if we can all awaken in that way, we all realize we share the same origins. And there is no competition. There is no, like need to survive. There is no dying. And again, that's not great for survival in this current system of competition that we have kind of found ourselves in. But there is room for change. Love is true. I'm working and sending love to everyone. Healing vibrations, protection vibrations. I'm hoping today is chaotically good for everyone. Thank you for that, dear Shell. Sending you love ones as well. French toast sticks. But now I'm gone. Love you again, Kristen. Yes, I was hoping you'd stick around another couple of minutes, Kristen. Religion was invented to manipulate the lower classes. Yeah. It just took off and became super popular. It became super popular because it's convenient and it's nice. The ego loves believing it is right. The ego loves having answers, right? The ego loves having some sort of system, a structure that it can rely on, that it can lean on, right? But you can build structures out of anything. You can build structures out of anything. It might not be as stable, right? I'm thinking about the whole little three pigs analogy. But it is a structure, and some people find themselves, with so little structure in their own lives. We have been robbed of structure. We've been robbed of this ability to kind of like build structure for ourselves. We have conditioned the human mind to take instructions in so many ways that a religion lets that ego feel comfortable. It's like, nice. You look to your side in a church and you see another person who also, at least in your mind, believes the same thing you do. And that gives you a sense of comfort, right? It's biology. It makes perfect sense that it took off. Doesn't make it right. You should play the song next Wednesday. It's the dopamine song. Let's see. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. Frack Moody. I'm gonna get copyright plummeted. Thank you for sharing it. Yeah, that sounds pretty vibey to me. I like it. Like when I heard that womp 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 of the bass guitar, I was like, yeah, dopamine, yeah. Okay, let's play some kalimba, and then we'll pull a card, and then we'll say goodbye for today. Shall we? I'll share the Pippi frame with you, friends. Done Areno. Thank you, dear friends, for listening. Brian! Bro Dudo! It's been a while since seeing you. Oh, it's nice having you. I think I did get musquated. I think the mosquito bite I had yesterday disappeared quickly, though. That's good. I think my light is too warm now. Yeah. Oh, goodness. One day I'll be able to tune things with my brain without having to use my meat sticks and voice to kind of like trip myself out about it as well. You'll just see things morphing around me. Feel like, oh, Melto's thinking about things. I'm getting my kalimba tomorrow. Hopefully, if my mama finds it, I have to tune it. But I'm gonna copy you, Melt. We're going to open and close of kalimba meditation. Tuning it will be hard, but I'm excited. My kalimba is probably out of tune. It has like a little hammer that you like move these little tines with up and down. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it the exact way it sounds. Like for instance, like these small tines. Okay, they sound kind of okay. Usually they have like a bzzz. That one has like a little bzzz. And then you can like move it a little bit to the side. There. That one has like a little bit of a crunchiness to it again, so move it a little bit. Still. Still. Better. They can buzz, but I'll only hear maybe the first one a tiny bit. I'm happy to hear that it's not too bad, at least. That is true. Melty, Joe Schmo, I'm gonna melt reading this comment. I can already feel it. Thank you for being such a lovely creature. You make this world more bearable, and you fill my heart with joy and laughter every single day. You, dear Joe Schmo, are a treasure. Thank you for sending so much love to me. We have Kitty wanting some attentions as well. Meow meow. Meow meow meow. Pippi is like, no, you don't you freaking try and get attention from my daddo. Meow. She's so jealous. You're so jelly belly, you jelly Nelly. Yeah, kitty. Meow meow. Puppy. Don't be jelly, puppy. Like, I'm not gonna touch Kitty because I'm allergic to her and I might touch my face in the meanwhile. But I can't talk to her. She'll be like, don't you dare come close to him. He's mine. He's mine, puppy. Kalimba crew unite, yes. Officially on the road, so lurking. Much love. Drive safe, Duck Dad. We'll see you again on the other side with the bear. Whenever you can make it. Happy trails, love is true. Melt. My L is the silent one. My all is the silent one. My love, my AI. Whatever it is, I love you too, Brian. Like, I'm just celebrating seeing your name in chat, dear friend. You hear that? That's skinny fowl. Tarantala. The kalimba sounds beautiful, dude. Tune it if you want, but I think it sounds lovely. I think so as well. I don't have the little hammer anymore to tune it, even if I wanted to. So I live in a state of acceptance. Mine has an Allen key. That's better. That is better. Do you like? I'm guessing you can like tune them with an Allen key then. There you go. You can tune it with an Allen key then. That is better. I agree. Better than having to knock it with a hammer and then ting 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 to see if it's tuned. It's very difficult to tune a kalimba though. I'll agree with that. Speaking of kalimbas and hammers, Duckling's birthday kalimba video is in Discord sharing music. Thank you for letting me know. I'll go check it out now before we tune out. That video is so cute. So excited about your new job opportunities, responsibilities. Sano, congratulations. Did I miss a comment? Yeah, it's for the music group next week that I'm running. They're letting me run music and art now. They're gonna only give you more opportunities because you were worthy. You are worthy of being listened to, dear Zano. Blessings to you, dear friend. Thank you, Joy, for celebrating her as well. You guys are clearly wrong. The little hammers for playing, according to Duckling. I mean, who am I to say? You know, what do I know? What do I know anyway? It loosens the bar, and they just adjust the tines. Ah, yeah. I don't think mine has like screws underneath the tines that you can see, but you can't get to them unless you have some sort of like super screwdriver, or you remove the tines before you loosen them. It's pretty sure there's an app now that help you choose your instrument. There is. Do you eat the guinea fowl? No, we don't. We don't eat the guinea fowl. You can, but we don't. Like we have, but we don't. Zono has a new job. Congratulations. Now she still has the same job, I believe, just more responsibilities in the same position. They offer the name for it, thumb piano. Yeah, that's actually what I say to people as well. I'll say to them, I play the kalimba, and they're like, what is a kalimba? And I'm like, imagine a piano you play with your thumbs. You want to come and sit with me? She has her little face up against the... You're stepping on my scarf. There you go. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Sweetie patweetie. Yeah, yours is a real one. Mine is a remake. Mine has a similar scale. A real one? You think mine is like a real one? All I know is I scrolled down the list of kalimbas that was being sold, and this was the most expensive one that I could possibly buy. And me being the way I am, I thought more expensive, more good, right? And I bought this one. I did do some research about solid wood versus chamber kalimbas, and the solid wood one sounds warmer, less tinny to me, and then I ended up making my decision to get this one instead of anyone else. I want more instruments. Like I want an air instrument next, like a type of flute or something. Why am I scrolling through the book before even pulling a card? Let's pull a card for today, shall we? Let's see what the universe has to say through sacred geometry. The frequencies, frequenizes. No, chillax. Chillax yourself. Chillax, Pippi. Chillaxy bobaxy. Mine was made by a person. Mine is a large chamber. It's round. Oh, I think I know those as well. They are pretty. What I've learned shopping around for octarinas and other small handheld instruments is that a great number of them are made just for display and not to make music. Yeah, that's kind of brutal if you get yourself a display one instead of a music one. Always, I'll show pics when I get it. Please do. This is the card for today. Green. I mean, the core of it is. Look at that center green, pink hearts, dolphins, children sitting in a circle. This is the card that I think of when I think about what we're doing in this space. I really like this one. Emissaries of Love, this card is called. Look at them children sitting in a circle, generating energy, frequencies out into the universe. The dolphins contributing heart energy, creating this beautiful mandala in the center. Another Sailor Moon one. Sick, right? Look at that Sailor Moon wings and heart energies up there as well. Ducklings was 25 bucks, real wood, Amazon. It will work for now. I think that's, if it's in that price range, it should be better than enough, you know? Like I think I saw some of them in China for like $7 even, and they could still make sound. I'm a bargain hunter. I never think more expensive means more better. I mean quality, of course. Hurt, but dollars don't always mean more quality. It's true. I've been learning that lesson as well, actually, Joy. But I am happy that I like splurged more on my kalimba instead of getting anyone else. Just because like this one feels very like me. It has like this branding here that has been triggering me for like years. When I get like proper tools to like do some CNC, routing work and stuff like that, I'm gonna bzzz this thing away and then create like an infinity symbol there or something. But yeah, it be that way. It is what it is kind of vibe, right? The wood at the back is still beautiful to me. It has some scratches and some dents on it, but it's like weirdly to me, it's like every single time I look at it, like the last few days, it's like a different type of energy is being occupied by it. So trippy how like the grains of the wood absorb different light frequencies as well. A soul. Love you, Kalimba. The place is like a greenhouse in which we nourish and cultivate seeds and saplings and love and wisdom. Our happy, healthy, warm space. One pet peeve I have is that whole heart covers one word of my comments sometimes. The scratches and dents add character. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. Same thing for my cards. Same thing for my card box. Same thing for my book. Same thing for everything in life. Same thing for your body. Right? We were talking about that today. Our bodies. That your scratches doesn't make you ugly. It adds character. So it makes you who you are. I literally cannot believe how stuff is made in China so cheaply. Like, do they only make money in volume? They just figure out a process and then they duplicate that process over and over again until they have excess. And then excess begets a market being flooded by all of these products. And a market flooded by all of these products mean that the products become cheaper because less people want them for the amount of value that they provide, or the amount of people that want them outweigh the amount of stock that there is, and then the value drops. Economies 101s. Emissaries of Love. Man, I love this card so much. It's like one of my favorites in the whole deck. It's so beautiful as well. Excuse my nails. The self-consciousness kicks in. Billions of hungry people can make pretty much anything. Yeah, that's true. Even with slave labor, selling anything manufactured for $7 doesn't leave much meat on the bone. It doesn't. But they do make thousands of them, And if you sell anything, if you sell thousands of anything, it starts adding up. And that's usually what they bargain on, right? Where it's like for instance, like a music company will order in bulk from that place, and then they get to buy these things for like $7 a pop, and then they get to sell them for like $10, and then the manufacturer doesn't really care about the rest. 37 new children. One more time, I'll show you. And this is the shape that it is supposed to facilitate. And then I'll read to you what it means. Oh, I just saw the dolphins in the Taurus field, right? How sick is that? Okay. And again, Francine Hart was born in, I think, 1932 or something. Might be wrong. 1948. She was born. 1948. So she is 75 years old right now. So I believe, and I honestly do believe, she's talking about us when she was writing this card. Kitty is playing. Sensitive new children with uncommon abilities are entering the world. Oh man, I'm tripping out about the conversation me and Zano had earlier. Instantly, more synchronicity. They are being called various things: psychic children, crystal children, and millennium children, to name just a few terms in use. There are distinctions among them, yet it is apparent that they are all intuitive, creative, deeply aware, spiritually awakened. We talked about awakening. Multisensory human beings who carry with them a message of universal love. Their unique capabilities, the connection they have voiced with dolphins and whales, and their ability to use planetary energy grids to communicate with each other. Infuse this card. You are invited to look to the future with optimism and hope. Again, you are invited to look to the future with optimism and hope. One more time, you are invited to look to the future with optimism and hope because of you. Because of you. That's why we have hope. It is heartening to know that children are being born who embody the vibrations, yes, vibrations of peace, integrity, and genuine love. How may you better support the messages they offer? How may you follow their example and become yourself an emissary of love by shifting your attention from fear to love? In each moment, you too will become a part of the evolution of consciousness that these children personify. Yes, I'm getting my teeth kicked in by synchronicity right now. It's like, oh yeah, you think more synchronicity. Oh, more. You have the ability to contribute to a future of love for yourself and all beings. You, dear friend, have the ability to contribute to a future of love for yourself and all beings. See and feel it as already here. Whew. What a card. Damn. Damn, Francine. Damn, yo. I want to talk to Francine one day as well. Hit me up, Francine. Be like, what's up, Meltmore? Gang, gang. I'm be like, yeah, Francine. Gang, gang, and the goo. Ba, ba, da, skibow. And she goes, yeah, skibow. Yo, skibow. And I'll be like, yo, wow. That's exactly how it's going to happen. Francine Hart is seeing this in the future, being like, that's not how it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen that way. Okay, let me see. Damn, China, you scary. Oh, yeah. There is a lot of exploitation happening for 17 cents. Material costs, money, no. I mean, not if your government is subsidizing. Not technically, no. Definitely, but volume of said materials and quantity of said materials is a huge factor. They use garbage to make shiny stuff for rich Westerners. Yeah, sounds about right. Use the cheapest material you possibly can to make a product and then sell it for as much as you can get away with asking. I just wish I could buy materials for building as cheap as China can. Yeah, be a super entity, a communist country. You just have to, as a person, be a whole communist country. You know, it's that easy. What's the problem here? I don't see any problem. I just watched the movie Blackberry, and they called the Made in China the Mark of the Beast. Oh goodness, that's trippy. I should probably watch that movie. You think it's a good watch? Probably is going to help me gain some perspective. You know, maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. China food is great, but I've been told our American Chinese food isn't even close. Yeah, no. China food tastes nice. I don't know if it's good for you though. I got real fat. You want to see how fat I got? And see if I can find you some photos. Here we go. No. Let me. Yeah. You want to see some embarrassments? This is me. Post China. Yeah. After China. And then, you know, like this is a pretty bad photo, but that is after I started taking a little bit better care of myself. Yeah, China food be nice, yo. Enough for me to keep eating it. But I don't know if it made me feel that great. Seems like it's time for a short China story from Melt. Uh, one of my favorite stories of China is when I got taken out to go and fish with parents of one of my students. Owen, his name was. His English was fantastic. He was like a 6-year-old, and he could have like whole conversations with me. And I really loved chatting to that little dude. And then they take me out to go and fish with them into this like super rural area. There's nobody. Like there's nobody, and then there's suddenly like this like pond, and there's like these small little huts, and it's like fruit trees. It's like basically someone's farm. And we drive into this like farmed area, and I get there, and they give me like a stick to fish with. And I catch the biggest fish of all of them, right? My ego got like a real boost. They were like, yeah, wow, this foreigner knows how to fish type of vibe. And it was nice. You know, I had a good time. We had like these small little skewers that they made for us. I had like this small, like imagine the cutest and smallest little barbecue you can find that had these little charcoal briquettes in it, you know, and they would like make these little skewered meat sticks on there, you know, and we were eating those, drinking beer, catching fish, you know. And then one of the people there chilling with us asks the dad if they can introduce their mother to me, who has never in her life seen a foreigner. And they bring out this old lady, and she's like in her 90s. Like, I don't know if she could see me even, but she wanted to see a foreigner. And in South African culture, when you meet a new person, especially like a lady, we call them tannies, it is almost expected of you to go in for a hug. And usually they end up trying to kiss you as well, which my childhood self always had a problem with. But instinctively, when they introduce me to this old lady, I go in for a hug. And she almost like falls over, backing away from me. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I was just trying to be nice. Yeah. China story. China story, yeah. It was a cool experience. Love was still true. It was lonely for most of it. Indigo children, exactly. Exactly, dear friend. Definitely. But the volume of materials is a huge factor again. Lead and asbestos are pretty inexpensive these days, Takaru. Please no. Oh, please. Please do. I'm gonna build a shed out of lead and asbestos. It's so cheap. Why aren't everybody doing this? Drops dead. That's not funny. Why am I laughing at that? Seems like it's time. Chunky Melty. Yeah, Chunky Melty. You deserve squeezes either way. Thank you. Thank you. Right? We were talking about the body today, taking care of it as a part of the world ultimately. Even still melty, even as fluffy melty. Exactly. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I wholeheartedly love you all so very, very super monumentally, gigantically, galactically, enormously, dearly. Melt in all of you wonderfully, amazingly, magically, stunning friends. Know you, dear Shan. Thank you for all of the lovin's always. Hugs and hugs and hugs. My wife just messaged me and said my daughter wanted to bring the kalimba in the car to drive with grandma so she could play grandma calming music. You have brought a magical being into this world, dear friend. She's literally going to go and heal grandma with the power of music. I love that story. Most of your China stories are bad news, but that one is so wholesome. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why I chose to share that one, because it's one of the good memories I actually have of, you know, being in China instead of like the whackness that I experienced on that side as well. Thank you, dear friends, for listening, for moving your physical form, your three-dimensional body through space and time to find yourself here again. No chopsticks. I love chopsticks, right? Like my family taught me how to eat with chopsticks even before I went to China. So going to China and being like super able with my chopstick usage, I got applauded for that as well. We're like, oh wow, look at this foreigner, he can use chopsticks. I'm like, yeah, I know how I use chopsticks. Yay me. Watching the duckling vid. Yes, actually, there we go. Thank you for reminding me. I spaced out again, as I do. As I do, spacing into infinity. Those are some sick eyes. Yeah, I like them as well. Like I'm imagining those eyes replaced with that picture. It could be done eventually. My AI capabilities, I'll do it right in this moment. You said it was in Share the Music, right? Sharing music. Ooh, Gabby Goo's new guitar looking sicko bobico. Gabby Goo banding out with other loved ones. Gangsters. Denon. There she is. She's using the hammer. She's actually using the hammer.
Wow. That actually, try it again. That was really good. Yeah, just the ends. Mm-hmm. I hit it with the hammer. Wow.
Love is
that
true.
Actually, try it again. That was really.
I like how there's like this level of that was bad coming up in the consciousness, and then Duck Dad being like, "No, that's great. Try it again. Do it. Go, continue going. Don't worry, Dad. It came with the hammer." Yeah, her fingers are still small. Like seeing the kalimba, basically the size of her, like 4 times the size of her hands. I like the difference. Being a small human being. Like it trips me out that I used to be like an infantile baby, like in my mom's arms, soft and gooey. What happened, yo? Take me back. Take me back, please. Mama Gaia is already holding me in the same way. I'm still a baby to Mama Gaia. Fine. I get it. I get it. Thank you for letting me know as well. Our beloved Joy. Damn, bro, Chinese food looks real good. It was so nice. Stop. Hammer time. Love, love, love when you play the twisted key of E. In the twisted key of E. I think I have E notes on this. This is my E note. Do I have 2 E's? Yeah, E there as well. Okay. I don't want to say goodbye. I really enjoy being in the space with you, friends. I appreciate you joining me again, finding yourself in this moment. Thank you for taking care of yourself. It is a part of the world, right? You are a part of the world. And if we're going to save the world, we have to start with this part of the world. Lest we're going to have some troubles. I love you, friends, eternally. Thank you for hearting me. Heart, 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 heart. Celebrate, 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 celebrate. 100%, 100%, 100%. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you again soon. I love you so much. Blessings to all of you.